As you may have noticed, I decided to change my direction on the finish that I was doing on the frame. It wasn't necessary for me to have painted / stained it with the Pentart antiquing glaze, because I ended up starting with a black base, and that is because I wanted to go with a metallic finish because of what I'm going to be putting in the middle, which will also have the same metallic look to it in parts. So when I do a metallic finish, I like to layer several things. So starting with a black base, then I dry brushed on that metallic, folk art metallic chocolate brown. Now I am using Liquitex in a copper, and again kind of dry brushing it on a little heavier than I did the chocolate brown. After that, I will use 2 different pastes to finish the look. With the exception of the Conservatory tag that I haven't finished yet, the gallery wall beautiful arched plaque is ready to go. So now it's time to tackle what I'm going to put inside. Everyone is falling in love with the Cloches Mould from IOD that they just came out with during their holiday release. Although it's not a holiday mold, they're still going to have that one available continually. But I wanted to create a vase that I could put faux silk and dried flowers into. So I wanted the vase, first of all, I wanted it to look rounded, and secondly, I needed to use something, not only to make the vase round or rounded, but to have a place to stick the picks of all my faux flowers. So that's what I was doing there, in kind of chopping up a little piece of a cylinder styrofoam thingamajigger. And now, looking at the Cloches mold, I needed a base, so I'm using 2 of the little molds there, the base from the one on the right, and then the other part that will look kind of like a marbly glass, I'm using the one on the left. After my clay vase had dried, I glued the styrofoam to it using Titebond Quick and Thick, and then I primed the entire vase with just some chalk paint. I believe it's Waverly, some kind of white, cottage white or something. It really didn't matter. Just needed a base coat. Now I need to create a marbly effect paper that I can decoupage onto the glass portion of the vase. And for that, I am using baker's paper, bakery paper, and 2 different Lindy's sprays. Moon Shadow Mist is the generic category, I suppose, and the 2 colors are Long John Silvers and Silhouette Silver. When you order these, they come with a powder in the bottom of the spray bottle, and you add warm water up to the line, let it sit for a little bit, and then shake it, because there are mica powders in these sprays, and you have to give it time to kind of mix in together with the coloring and the mica. So after spraying it out on the bakery paper here, you can see I'm using a fan brush and just kind of swirling it around, doing this with both colors. Now the only way the mica, the reflection, the metallic portion of these sprays shows up is with heat. So I will have to use my heat gun to dry the paper. Although I think the cloche vase is turning out beautiful, it wasn't quite wide enough. I needed something on the side, so I decided to add some handles on either side. And again, I'll finish that as well as the Conservatory label in the metallic finish. But I am using Prima Redesign Cloches Swirls, I believe that's the name of it, the mold, 2 of the swirly pieces for the arms of the vase. To give just a little more punch to the glass part of the vase, I am using Pentart's Fine Line Crackle, step 1 and step 2. With step 1, you apply it with a soft dry brush very evenly and let it dry on its own. Do the same thing with step 2, but after it's dried maybe 10-15 minutes or even overnight, it can be very dry, then you can use a heat gun and you will get a few more cracks. Then you can decide what you want to use, a pigment powder or a wax paste. I started with a Chameleon gold wax paste from Pentart just to give it a little bit more of that mica look, and then finished it off with my standard Pentart antiquing paste in Umbra. After that, I used Pentart solvent-based gloss varnish, and I think it just came out spectacular.
So there'd be no doubt. Called down the north wind to come on out, then cupped his hands so proudly to shout, la-di-da, oh la-di-da, 'tis autumn. The trees say they're tired for too much fruit, charmed all the wayside. There's no dispute, now shedding leaves, they don't give a hoot. La-di-da, oh la-di-da, 'tis autumn. Then the birds got together to chirp about the weather. After making their decision in birdie-like precision, turned up about and made a beeline for the south. My holding you close really is no crime. Ask the birds, the trees, and old Father Time. It's just to help the mercury climb. La-di-da-do-da-di-da, 'tis autumn. Together to chirp about the weather. After making their decision in birdie-like precision, turned about and made a beeline for the south. My holding you close really is no crime. Ask the birds, the trees, and old Father Time. It's just to help the mercury climb. La-di-da, oh